at this.
Yeah. War's a terrible thing, you know.
You're right there.
You are right
All
there.
these fine young men sent off to do the dying. And those bigwigs, those pedal pushers, those guys who never ever see a single bullet whiz past their heads. We want to get them down here. Those so-called generals in their big fancy houses, 20 miles behind.
I know there's a political message here, but I don't know if I agree with it.
Who are they indeed? Look at that. What a sight.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I think the idea with that...
The horror.
Oh, the horror, the horror.
The horror.
I don't know if that's a Saving Private Ryan reference. It might be. Oh, hey, the countdown's still going.
Do I got knocked out for a second?
A second, or about
Yeah,
5 minutes.
I remember. Countdown. Oh,
Yeah, I think the idea of that political message was... we ought to get the big old rich people who think they're all tough to feel the actual danger that others experience. Because they think they're so special and they're not. But I don't know. I feel like I'm in a position where I'm reasonably privileged as a human being. But I don't see why that should entitle me to say that I've never felt pain before, or that I've never felt any sort of grave stress before. And, like, nobody should have to experience what people go through in war, because, as Conker puts it, war is a terrible thing. Like, the people who... Well, I think that's part of the reason why it's so great to not have a draft, is because people who are interested in actually, like, accepting the possibility of death by going to the military and everything, that's their duty, to feel like they, I don't know, they have that sense of honor or something. I don't know what encourages people to do that, but I'm glad that they do so that others don't have to. And the queen bee is dead. I'm pretty sure that this is a Wizard of Oz reference. I'm not totally sure. Because I don't know if she had boots before, but now she does. Is this the... Yeah, I feel like this is a Wizard of Oz reference, but I'm not actually sure. They're not bright red boots like I remembered them being, though. Oh, and here's pieces of the windmill. Shouldn't be any worms around now. Should I finish the game in this segment? There's not much left. I guess I can. I'm kinda iffy on this. I'm running around in circles. We'll see what I'm in the mood for.
Oh, no. Where did the windmill go?
I was sure that was
What
the
kind of
final
question is that?
Oh, well.
Obviously the windmill is scattered across the land.
Hold on. Hey, it's good to see you, man. What happened?
Oh, a bit sore, but you know what? I reckon that suit really works. I was flying through the air. Next thing is, bam! I saw this thing coming towards me. Kind of like a windmill. Doesn't seem to be
Again, with
very
perspective, really it was him going towards the windmill and not the windmill going towards him, but
close. So, what's that?
it's just like, who moved the line?
Sure. But, the war seems to be over. You might as well go on your way.
That was a really abrupt finish to a war.
Yeah,
I guess all the teddies are dead, though,
catch you
at
later.
least as far as we
Catch you
know.
later. You can buy me a pint.
Okay. Conker, can I just say something?
Yeah, that depends what it is.
It was was a real privilege working with you. And I would have to say that if ever I need to go on an operation such as that again, I hope that it's with you.
Oh, well.
Conker sounds a little
Very
bit
nice
jerkish
of you.
there, but he also says something that I find really relatable. Can I say something? Yeah, it depends on what it is. Like when someone says, hey, could you do me a favor? You can't say yes before you know what the favor is.
Idiot.
Conker, you Sasquatch. You, scruffy-headed nerf herder. Alright, so here's the bridge. That bridge that we, didn't try to cross. I'm pretty sure I skipped that part. There's the nearly invisible rope that I, mentioned. And, here is abrupt instance of Don Weezo. Which is this guy's name. I can't remember if I mentioned that, this game used to have a scene with Pikachu in it. Just Pikachu's tail.
Oh, not another one.
And the Don
Can I
here
just go
beats
home,
Pikachu
please?
to a pulp and says, gotta catch 'em all, and it's a really stupid statement. Or that I used this music playing in the background for that Winnie the Pooh getting shot animation.
Like, these pants are so uncomfortable.
Don't know if I mentioned any of that.
Oh,
But yeah, here's
something
Barry.
new here.
Oh, Barry. You look great.
Really?
I thought you said you didn't know this guy.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Maybe it's
He's
just
like my
me, but I feel
boyfriend.
like
Yeah.
tight
that's right.
clothing over a body is almost more,
Am I interrupting
like,
something
attractive than just a bare
here?
body.
When you two little
But maybe
lovebirds
that's just
finish
me.
with your reunion tay-ta-tay shit.
Tay-ta-tay.
Maybe we can get on with the job at hand.
Another phrase I didn't hear until this
Okay,
game.
okay. What do you want us to do?
Okay. Since your little escapades with those cavemen kind of put me out of business.
How?
Now I need to replenish my funds. Here we have it. The
Federal
Federal
Reserve Bank.
Reserve.
Instead of federal, it's funny because animals.
Okay. But I'll do it on one condition only.
What?
That I get an outfit that's as cool as hers.
Deal.
I'm sort of surprised that he accepts that offer. Like, not that it's a heavy offer, I guess, if he just happens to have the clothing, but like, what would happen if Conker's one condition was just out of what he wanted to do? Like, would Conker just not accept the offer? I don't know. But anyway, you can't use your tail spin because you don't have your tail. It's just tucked into the suit. I don't know if there's any more details that I can stare at needlessly. Here's some more lights that just turn on whenever the center of them is on the screen. I feel like the disabling instance box around the game could be slightly bigger. But yeah, I will continue to question how did he lose all his funds from just Conker taking a bomb to the volcano? Like, what? Did he just lose money from the bomb that he bought or something? I don't know. Or did it put him out of business because the volcano erupting destroyed his hideout, wherever that hideout is? It's never really explained where it is.
Please place any metallic objects in the tray.
I must point out these weasels' mouths. I don't know what part of their mouth is moving. It looks like they have clenched teeth and only the front of their teeth is moving. It's weird. It's like their teeth are a floppy part of their snouts. But yeah, we got this this hardcore Matrix-like scene with a very much Matrix-y section here. This is the last challenge of the game, really. I'm gonna wait for them to say regroup, which they did just then. And this might be another segment where I die horribly for seemingly no reason. Can I just run into these lasers? I can run into the lasers, and that is surprisingly inconsequential. There's just, I get knocked back and don't actually get hurt. Interesting. This is something I've never really analyzed before. Okay, shoot me so that I can just get this over with. Skip the cutscene if there is a cutscene. Yep, there is the cutscene with the revolving door, and it's a nice revolving door. I've also never tried actually going back to see if there's a way to go back. You can just leave, I guess. Can you just leave? Interesting. You can just leave. In the middle of that action sequence. Imagine that happening in one of the actual Matrix movies. Oh, and the cutscene plays again. Good. So Conker can just go in and kill all the guards more than once. Yeah, just imagine Neo running through the subway. Yes, the subway as in the Subway restaurant. And there are like 11,000 Agent Smiths everywhere, and he's killing all of them, and then all of a sudden he says, you know what, lunch break. And he just gets a Subway sandwich. And then he comes back and the same thing happens. Weird thing about this little action sequence is that everything actually does go in slow motion, including Conker getting hit. I'm pretty sure that they just slow down the frame rate or something, because it's not that the frame rate looks any lower, but if you get hit by a bullet, Conker still flies really slowly through the air. If you die, then the transition for him, for the big circle going around him and then shrinking to the point where everything goes black, that's really slow. It's very needlessly slow death. Gotta have this. If you're gonna be making dated parodies, you might as well make them as cool as possible. Not that the references were dated whenever this game came out. I'm pretty sure that The Matrix was somewhat recent. Regroup. 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 Hurry up before the column disappears. Cool. Whoa. Though that aiming was very strange. I think it correlated with the rotation of Conker's body. I'm not sure if it did, but it felt like it did. That was very wonky. Wonky circus. Yeah, this column does not have much left. It could do with a little extra, my boy. My boy, this is what all true dinners strive for. Are we on the next wave yet? Looks like we are. The bullet time was always the coolest part of The Matrix. I think. I don't actually remember. I've only seen the movies once. And what I remember is that the first one was really great. The second one was action-packed and good for its action sequences. And the third one was just weird and suffered the third movie problem that a lot of trilogies have. Because it was the same thing with Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. Like, the first two movies were... Well, the second one wasn't all that great because it didn't really have much of a story to it, but at least it felt like the first movie. And then the third one just felt like an entirely different movie. Not necessarily bad, just not even the same series. Are there any more yet? I'm just gonna pretend there are. Just gonna keep shooting this guard over and over again. Because I have the bullets, I might as well use them somewhere. Oh, we're on the next wave already. The section might seem long, but it's actually shorter than I remember it being. This is not so terrible. Okay, don't kill me yet. Honestly surprised that I haven't had any of these bullets hit me yet. Knock on wood. Not that there's any wood around here, it's all just, I guess, concrete columns. That one is a little bit too close for comfort, too close for creature comfort. That stop motion by Aardman Animations that contained an animation of Adam and Eve, except not actually Eve, because instead of Eve, there turned out to be a penguin. That was a good one. Whenever I look at that part, I don't really think of the Matrix so much as I think of that finishing move in Xiao Xiao 3, or however you pronounce that stick animation series. The stick fights. Xiao, Xiao.
Give me a break.
Don't worry, it's in hand, okay?
The thing about those lasers is they did not actually look very difficult to get through. Yeah, there are lots of places where you can just walk under them. So... yeah.
Yeah, you're one in a million. Speaking of which...
This is a room that we only see very briefly. Just kind of want to take it in because there's not much that we do with it. Nice big hexagons, very typical of Rare. Maybe this is the inspiration for the villain in Ukulele. Probably not. I'm pretty sure the Ukulele villain inspiration, capital B, I think that's his name. I don't know what this hallway is. Looks kind of Star Wars-esque. Pretty sure the inspiration was Microsoft buying out Rare. And, like, they're using capital B as, like...
Well, there you go.
sort of this caricature of Microsoft. But that's just my guess.
Where do I start? Come here, my little beauties.
Yeah, we're right here at the end of the game now. And what better way to finish the game than with the same stuff that we did at the beginning, hitting things with frying pans. It's not cheese this time, it's bundles of cash. Bales of cash, hey bale. Bail out of jail. Whatever else does that entail? Conker's Pocket Tales. Pretty sure that was Conker's Pocket Tales because it was it a Game Boy Advance game? Game Boy game? Game Boy Color? It was handheld. I played a little bit of it and was not impressed.
Cool.
I like this. 1 million, you pause, it's the same thing, just centered. So you have two instances of 1 million just right next to each other, and it looks funky.
Who wants to be a millionaire? Me, actually.
Stupidest line.
Easy come, easy go.
Here's the Panther King. Do we finally get to fight you?